Cillian Murphy is an Irish actor. He was the lead singer, guitarist, and lyricist of the rock band the Sons of Mr. Green Jeans. He turned down a record deal in the late 1990s and began acting on stage and in short independent films. His first notable film credits include Jim in the zombie horror 28 Days Later, the dark comedy Intermission, and the action thriller Red Eye. It also says here he's known for his collaborations with director Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan.
Did I say that correct?
Favorites.
Christopher Nolan. All right.
Oops.
Okay. This is a redo.
Yes, we did this one before, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
And we got it incorrect.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened?
Well, we'd like to thank my Wonder Twin, first of all,
Yes.
for pointing it out, because we typed him as an ISTP, and my Wonder Twin said, "Are you sure about that? Because I'm not getting sensor vibes from him." And then we thought, okay, we need to look a little bit more carefully, because when we did this originally, we didn't really look too much at him.
No. We didn't. We saw only one aspect of him. Really.
Yes.
And it wasn't until we looked at him a little bit younger that all became clear.
Right. I think neither one of us were comfortable with the typing. At least I know I wasn't. But for some reason, I don't know. It was like I couldn't figure it out, and I just thought, well, I'm sure that's what it is. And it was, I should have looked into it more.
Yeah, it wasn't like a satisfying.
No, right, it wasn't.
But
and now looking deeper into this, we can see why we got that, and you'll speak to that here in a bit.
Mainly, it's because
you'll speak to it now.
It's because the INTJ is supreme.
Oh my
at
goodness.
Hiding in plain sight. That's why.
Well, he fooled us, didn't he?
We're good.
He fooled you, and you are an
We're that
INTJ.
good. Yeah, it's probably why I've never met another one.
True.
We're just so good.
Right.
We're probably in the same room thinking, oh, damn, no INTJs again.
All right. So, well, we already said what we think he is. It's kind of comical, too, because I was busting on that website. Oh, thanks, Jay. He's an INTJ.
They actually got one right.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to give too much credit, because I think it's kind of, sometimes that website, it's like if the first person that comes along gets it right, they just all kind of pile up, and it's not necessarily
Right.
because, there are people with very excellent comments on there, but anyway,
Yes.
I have to make fun of myself for making fun of them when I was wrong. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so let's watch a little bit. And
Right. So this is a little bit, this is 2009, but still he's a little bit older here. Okay.
3, 2, 1, go.
Congratulations on the film.
Thanks.
One thing that I really like to know, though,
Thanks.
you tackle some really big projects and then you go indie level. What was it that really reached out to you on this script that made you really want to go?
The death-like stare.
Well, two things really. First was Ken Loach. I think anyone who is worth their salt at Ken Loach, if you look at his body of work over the last 25 to 30 years.
Pause
And then the
again.
second thing was...
He just started talking.
I know, but there's just so much to say. Like in that last one we did,
Yes.
he was trying to be nice.
Okay, well, let's explain. We did some some talk show interview, like late night show. I don't remember which one it was.
I don't
And
know.
no, but you could tell he didn't want to be there.
Yeah, he was kind of awkward, but
He was very awkward.
he was
right.
trying to be like vaguely human.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's why we got such a bad read on him, because he was.
Yeah, he was just doing the thing, I guess.
The thing.
The thing that like, how can I explain this? Like when you go somewhere and you're like as an INTJ and you're like, I suppose I'm gonna try and attempt to be normal.
Yes, that's kind of the impression I got.
See, here he's completely different.
Yes, he
He's,
is.
he's just like completely himself, and
Yeah.
someone's obviously told him like, look, you can't be like that. It comes across badly.
Yes.
It
yes.
seems like you don't care. And then
And
he's practiced it, and then when he's on this
Right.
talk show, he's all like, "Oh yes, you're very funny, Jimmy."
Yes, and it's very awkward and doesn't feel real or something weird about it. I don't
Yes,
know.
and you need to tell he doesn't want to be there.
Yes.
But here he's like, he's playing by his own rules.
Yes, true.
So yeah,
Okay.
let's continue. 3, 2, 1, go.
That it was a film about where I'm from and about the history of my county and my country, and it was something that I wanted to be involved with. I mean, it's a story that hasn't really been told properly. So
Now, because you're from that area, were you really quite familiar with that story, or was there part of a history lesson there for you too when you started reading the script?
yeah, no, there was definitely pretty revelatory to me because obviously the Civil War in Ireland isn't a very glorious time in our history. So in schools, you get taught it very superficially. So to actually go and study and read in depthly about it was quite revealing, and also because a civil war, which happened only 2 generations ago, it's still pretty raw. I mean, people don't talk about it that much at home. So to go and read about that was also very, very revealing.
Looking back at your family's history, was there a lot of people in your family that were involved in the Civil War?
Well, I don't think we were a very politicized family or very active in the struggle, but at the same time I did have a cousin who was killed by the Tans, who was in a flying column, and my grandfather was like randomly shot at by the Tans, and I think every family in Cork has some story, directly or indirectly, how they were affected by this struggle.
Now, there's a movie like this. There's always a message that you want to put out to the audience. Is it a reminder? What's the message that you really want the audience to pick up from this film?
Well, I think that's for the audience to decide. I think this film, obviously, it's a political film, it's a historical film, but it's also a very human story about 2 brothers and a community and what this struggle does to them. But if people want to see beyond that and see how that resonates now in the world today, I think they're free to do that. It's not meant to be prescriptive, but there are obvious resonances, I think.
Oh,
Now, I got to get a couple updates before we wrap up.
Yes, human.
Sunshine, that movie
Yes.
was incredible.
Okay.
There's a lot of good.
I mean, clearly, it's clearly a film that he's taken the role on because he likes the film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not just something, he's speaking to it. So that's a difference from the last thing that he was trying to promote, I guess, on the other thing, the other talk
On the
show.
other interview, right, that we listened to. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's go to the musician
younger.
time.
Okay.
'Cause,
All right.
we like instantly typed him from that, didn't we?
Yes.
3, 2,
Yes.
1, go.
Sounds like a blend of funk, rock and hip-hop to me, but how do they describe it themselves?
It's a music that's popular in the 90s, and it's not constrained by any formula, and that came from the whole spirit of jazz, which is the freedom to express yourself on your instrument, which has been lost. It can be argued through the 80s and through the early 90s with playing through pop formula, playing to songs that appeal melody-wise
Much
and that
different
are based
here.
on 3 chords. This is the freedom to go a bit further with music and to try different
suppose INTJ
styles and
clip
different
I've
modes
ever
and get them
seen.
into one formula and mix down to something different. Obviously it has its roots in jazz and 70s music, but it's now moving on. It's becoming popular now, really popular, and I think it's great because now people of our age and stuff are beginning to appreciate musicianship as opposed to catchy tune, They begin to appreciate live
All right, let's
music.
stop it there because it's going to end. Wow. This is kind of like this is like INTJ in pure form, right? This is before he sort of I don't know. I mean, you're gonna have to speak to this, but to me it sounds like this is before he got beaten down by the world. When he actually thought people cared what he had to say. You're laughing, so I guess I'm right. I mean, you can see the innocence on his face, right? Like, I'm going to TE all over you and you're going to love it.
I mean, well, obviously someone cares what he has to say. That's why he's all like,
Yeah.
that was by chance.
Yeah, yes, right. Hurry up.
Just
But yeah,
he's so
it's
FI and he's so TE.
yes.
So, like, passionate. And he's so, like, finally, I've been noticed.
Yes. I kind
Talk
of
about
think
it at length.
this is why I think a lot of young INTJs, I don't know if I've ever said this in a
I've
video.
paused in not the most ridiculous place.
Okay. Well, move it somewhere else
That's what
then.
There you go.
I don't know if I've said this in other videos. I probably have, 'cause of course I can't remember what I said. You'll remember. I think this is why a lot of younger INTJs might consider they're an INFP, because I think you believe that you're a feeler or that you consider yourself a feeler.
Right. I mean,
You're so identified with this FI.
so how can I put this? Okay, so in my opinion, if you imagine it like this, like every river has a source,
Mm,
and FI is sort of the source of the TE river in the INTJ.
mm,
And I believe that's the case with all TE and FI people.
yes.
Um,
Hmm.
I don't really believe that thought and logic and thinking is really enough to... It's not a motivator.
Mm,
I think we have feeling as humans as the motivators.
hmm
That's the thinking comes after the motivation. And you can see any type, like say ENTJ is a dominant TE type.
hmm
And you could say, wow, that's speaking from TE, but are they really? I don't think they are. They're speaking from FI.
hmm
When you hear these ENTJ people speak, they're always so passionate and really they're taking something from FI and they're extrovertedly thinking it out. And then in terms of like the whole FI thing, with FI people always seem to think or feel, depending on how you want to put it, that they are or could be feeler types. It's just something I've noticed with FI. FI users are always so introspective on feeling, and they're always kind of internally sensitive. And that intensity makes some of them think or feel that they are feeler types or could be feeler types. That's just FI.
Yeah.
FI is intense. And it's not like FE isn't, but FE just doesn't really think about it.
No, again, well, if you want to compare, it's like your FI compares to my TI in that way.
Right, yeah. So that's why some FE people might think or feel they are thinker types.
Yes.
Plenty of them do. I've had so many people think that they're an INTJ, but they're like an ENFJ.
Yes.
So,
Well,
yeah.
even me, like one of my sisters, she says to me that I'm a thinker. She says that to me, which makes me laugh. I mean, I am, but it's just funny. That's how she sees me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean,
Interesting.
people. This is the problem. All these words, thinker, feeler.
Yes, I know.
blah blah. You know,
They're problematic, aren't they?
they're really the definition is really kind of perceptive. It depends on that person. Like what do they think a thinker is?
Yeah.
This is why you really got to keep it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Like the habit with all this MBTI Jungian stuff is that everybody overthinks it,
Mm-hmm.
and they try and be all clever when it has to be simple to understand.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're
Yes.
just gonna go into these rabbit holes that don't get you anywhere.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we should wrap this one up. So
Yeah.
we were wrong, and we're not afraid to be wrong because we both recognize that we can grow and learn from our mistakes. And we did from this one. Definitely.
Yeah, and you can only make a decision on what you see,
Exactly.
right? Which means,
Right.
in actuality, some people can't be typed. Because if they don't want to really be themselves, or they're in a circumstance in which they find it difficult to be themselves, then they're going to be very difficult to type. You won't be able to do it because you're not studying something that is authentic. And yeah, this is sort of what's happened here, really.
So I think we are both in agreement that Cillian Murphy is an INTJ.
He's an INTJ.
And he fooled us, didn't he?
He
All
did.
right.
But it's only natural, really.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching. Recommend people for us to type, and we will prioritize them if we can.
Yes. Try and find some more INTJs.
Yes, they're hard to find because they hide. All right. Thank you.